Right now, the Social Security Administration is holding hundreds of dollars per month that legally belong to you, not because you failed to qualify, because you submitted the wrong form, and the agency is under no obligation to tell you that. Most seniors go years, sometimes decades, without ever discovering the gap, not because the rules are secret, but because no one inside the system is required to point them out to you. The money sits uncollected. The months keep passing, and the retroactive window that could have recovered some of it quietly closes behind you. My name is Lana Maines. I represent taxpayers directly in front of the Internal Revenue Service and walk retirees through the federal benefit rules that government agencies will not explain to you unprompted. The single most consistent pattern I see across people in their 60s and 70s is not fraud, and it is not carelessness. It is honest, careful people receiving $400 less per month than the law entitles them to year after year because no one ever handed them the correct form number. That is the most expensive kind of mistake there is, because it is invisible. There is no notice. There is no penalty. There is just money that never arrives. Here is the legal foundation. The Social Security Act does not grant benefits automatically. Under Title II of the Social Security Act, each distinct benefit category requires a separate written application. Eligibility and payment are not the same thing. You can be fully eligible for a spousal benefit, a survivor benefit, and a supplemental income benefit at the exact same time, and receive none of them because you only filed one application for one category. The SSA processes what you submit. It does not audit your file for unclaimed categories. It does not send a letter telling you there is money you did not ask for. You will never be told that is not an oversight on the agency's part. That is simply how the system is designed to work. The burden of application sits entirely with you. Here is what that costs. Independent analysis of SSA data shows billions in Social Security benefits go uncollected annually. The average gap for seniors who later discover and correct an incomplete filing is over $400 per month. For some widows, switching from a reduced retirement benefit to a full survivor benefit, the correction is over $800 per month. Across a 10-year retirement, that gap compounds into 6 figures of income that was always legally theirs. The agency held it because no written application existed for it, not because of fraud, not because of an error on a form, simply because the right form was never submitted. There are 4 benefit categories where this gap is most common. Each one requires its own form. Each one has a separate eligibility trigger, and almost none of them are mentioned during a standard retirement enrollment call. The first is the spousal benefit, under 42 United States Code Section 402. A spouse is entitled to up to 50% of the higher earning spouse's primary insurance amount. This applies whether or not you worked. It applies whether you worked briefly or worked for decades at lower wages. The correct form is SSA2, the application for wives' or husbands' insurance benefits. The SSA online portal defaults to the retirement application. It does not surface SSA2 automatically. Seniors who enroll online without specifically navigating to SSA2 receive their own work record benefit only. The spousal benefit is never applied. If you are a lower income retiree who spent years as a caregiver or in part-time work, your own benefit may be small. The spousal benefit under SSA2 can more than double your monthly payment. If you are a retiree with your own solid earnings record, the spousal benefit may still apply if your spouse's primary insurance amount exceeds yours. The calculation is done at the time of application. It is not done automatically on your behalf, and if you have already been collecting for several years without ever filing SSA2, the retroactive recovery window limits how far back you can reach. Filing sooner is always better than filing later. The second missed benefit is the survivor benefit for widows and widowers. Under 42 U.S.C. Section 402E and 402F, a surviving spouse is entitled to up to 100% of the deceased spouse's benefit amount. The correct form is SSA10, the application for widows or widowers' insurance benefits. This is a separate form from the retirement application and a separate form from SSA2. Filing one does not trigger the other. Consider a woman named Miriam. She is 67, a retired bookkeeper from Tucson, Arizona. Her husband passed away in 2021 after 41 years of marriage. His Social Security benefit at the time of his death was $2,340 per month. Miriam had filed for her own retirement benefit at 63, receiving $980 per month. She was never told she could file SSA 10 separately to receive her husband's higher survivor benefit instead. For 3 years, Miriam received $980 per month. The survivor benefit she qualified for was $2,340. That is a difference of $1,360 every single month. Miriam did nothing wrong. The SSA processed exactly what she filed, nothing more. Here's the part that makes this urgent. SSA pays retroactive survivor benefits only up to 6 months prior to the application date. Under the Code of Federal Regulations, Title 20, Part 404.621, the retroactive window is capped. Every month Miriam waited past the date she first qualified, she lost that month permanently. By the time a benefits counselor identified the error, she had left over $30,000 on the table. That money is gone. It cannot be recovered. No appeal, no exception, gone. So, here's what I want you to do. The exemptions, the breaks, the refunds, most seniors already qualify for but never claim. I've put them all in one place, state by state, form by form, so you don't waste hours digging through government sites. Everything's laid out fast and simple so any senior can find exactly what applies to them. No matter what state you're in, there's money you're leaving on the table. It's called the Senior Exemption Playbook. It's in the first pinned comment right below this video. Just tap it once and you'll have everything you need. Now stay right here because the last section is the biggest benefit most seniors never claim, and it's the reason I made this whole video. Right now, pause this video and open your most recent SSA statement, not last year's, the one dated most recently. Look at the benefit category listed. If it says retirement insurance benefit only and you are widowed or your spouse has a significantly higher earnings record than yours, you are almost certainly in the same position Miriam was in. Look at that number right now because the next section tells you exactly what to do about it. The third missed benefit is the delayed retirement credit recalculation. There is no separate form for this, but there is a required action most seniors never take. Under 20 CFR 404.313, for every month past your full retirement age that you delay claiming up to age 70, your benefit increases by 2/3%, which equals 8% per year. The SSA does apply this credit automatically if you never filed before age 70. But here is the catch. If you filed early, took a reduced benefit, and later want to withdraw that application and refile at a higher rate, you must submit Form SSA-521. The request for withdrawal of application within 12 months of your original filing, miss that window, and the option to restart at the higher rate is permanently closed for most filers. If you filed at 62 as a default without fully understanding the 8% annual growth rate, the difference between a benefit claimed at 62 versus 70 can exceed 75% of your monthly amount. That is not a rounding error. That is a structural income difference that compounds across every year of retirement, and if your filing date is recent, the SSA 521 window may still be open. This is one of the most time-sensitive items in this entire video. If you filed within the last 12 months and you are having second thoughts about that timing, do not wait another week to look into this. The fourth missed benefit is Supplemental Security Income known as SSI. This is a separate federal program from Social Security retirement authorized under Title 16 of the Social Security Act. The application form is SSA-8000. SSI provides monthly payments to seniors with limited income and limited resources, regardless of work history. A senior can receive both Social Security retirement benefits and SSI simultaneously if income and asset thresholds are met. SSA intake agents do not automatically screen retirement applicants for SSI eligibility. You must ask. You must file SSA 8000 separately. If no one has ever raised this with you and your household income is limited, you may be leaving a monthly payment on the table that you have been entitled to since the day you enrolled. That leads directly into the timing problem because the form is only half the issue. Filing late on the correct